Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is William Sanchez from Code for Traders. This is a follow-up to both the Monday video, which is the manual testing of the MACD and 200 EMA, and Wednesday's video, which is the trading view strategy creation code that I created of the MACD and 200 moving average. So they're the same thing. This video is the NinjaTrader version or NinjaTrader script of the MACD and the 200 moving average. Here, as you can see, I am logged into NinjaTrader specifically. And then let me now open the strategy analyzer because the code was already created. So actually, here's the code itself. I am testing it from January to current. And we're definitely adding commission, the fee here. The strategy works best with the 15-minute. And we're using the MNQ for this. So let's go back, let's run this. So you guys can see the results. So these are the results at the moment. But before I even get into that, let me go to the chart so I can show you the exact strategy again. So let's zoom this in. So the way the strategy works, same thing as the manual trading, same thing as the trading view one. The way this works, let me actually do cross there. You need the price to be below the moving average, which is this one here, the EMA, the 200 moving average, and you need the MACD lines to be above the zero line and cross below, right? It needs to cross below, creating the red histogram. So this will be a perfect entry here. I created it where the boxes are created. So the stop loss for this strategy is placed at the 200 EMA, and the take profit is 1.5 times the EMA. So it is a very simple strategy. This code was created to make it as most simple as possible, right? And then you can kind of see all the trades it takes, and the difference between trading view strategy versus NinjaTrader strategy is NinjaTrader, if set up correctly, will actually trade for you. It's an automated system, which is why I prefer NinjaTrader versus trading view. But trading view is easier and more visual. This does it as well, but it's a little bit more robust in how you get there. But this is the NinjaTrader version of it. Now let's go back to results. And also, before I go any further, the trading view strategy and this NinjaTrader strategy, their codes will be sold on my Etsy store. That will be in the description below. And if you have a trading view strategy or NinjaTrader strategy that you would want to code, you can also reach to me out at my Fiverr site as well, where I create custom indicators and strategies for people for trading view and NinjaTrader, which will also be in the description below. Getting that out the way, here's the actual results of the strategy itself. All right, as you can see, the way I'm using is percentage of equity. So this is the entire code itself, but as right now, as you can see, is based off the equity percentage, only 1% of the account, and the account is $100,000. So I coded this so it can be very flexible for however you want to use it. It can be live account, it can be a prop firm, right? The best prop firm you can use this in is like Apex or Trade Day. It would work perfectly for this, because they allow bot trading. That's what this is. So as you can see the results, it does perform very well at the moment. This is the profit after the 7 months go by. The win rate is 51.33. The Sherpa isn't as good as I would want. The profit factor is 1.5. So it is a good strategy. It says on average you'll profit about $6,300 a month. But right now I also have it at 1.5. So it is a pretty good strategy as its base. And of course, the reason I created it the way I did is that this way you can optimize it as much as you want. But that, you can play around with that. But you can improve it drastically with very few changes. So let me walk through the actual strategy itself. For the inputs, same thing I did with the trading view one. So here's the EMA. You can change the EMA to whatever you want. Whatever fits you best. You want something faster, I would recommend lowering it maybe to like 50, 25, if you want something faster in and out. Here's the MACD settings themselves. This is just the base MACD. You can change that as well if you want. You can change the faster length to something smaller if you want to take more trades. Because this one right now took 150 trades with a 51.33% win rate. It's pretty good. Here's the TP. So this is, I have it right now at 1.5. But the 1.5 is based off the stop loss, kind of like what I was saying. The stop loss is based at the EMA, and then it's 1.5 from there. You can increase it to 2 if you want like a bigger actual win, but your win rate will drop. Like I can show you, if you do this in a 2, the win rate will drop. The win rate was 51, so it's 42 now, and it did make about the same. As you can see, it was originally, it actually makes less. With the 0.5, it was better. You actually make more with the 0.5. But yeah, 0.5 I think is the best sweet spot. You can do lower if you want like more in and out. That's what I would recommend. I think the 1.5 is best on the 15 minute. I use at the 15 minute, and like I said, micro NQ. So this setting here, what this is, let me show the chart. So as you can see, this candle here, I said body open and close. The body, the entire candle itself is above the EMA. Because it's above the EMA, that's what this is doing. If I were to choose close only, you'll get scenarios where, for example, like this candle here, this candle opened here and closed up here, so it kind of crossed the 200. That's not what you want. You could do that if you want. Sometimes the win rate does go up if you do that, but I think it is better just leaving it as it is, because if we were to change that, we change this to close only. Let's see what the win rate will be for that. Yeah, you see, it does really bad. So I wouldn't even change it to that, but I put it there if you guys would want to play around with it. This is still the better option. This one here is the one trade at a time. So as you can see here on the chart as well, once there's a trade open here, if another signal happens while this trade is still open, it will take a second trade. This can be good and bad depending on how you look at it. The reason I say it's good and bad is because with futures, this would just stack the trade itself. So then the average would be kind of like around here in a sense. I wouldn't want to do that. I like to do one trade at a time. One trade at a time gives you a cleaner trade. You don't have to worry about it. And you can do multiple stacking. I wouldn't recommend that too much, but you can if you want. But for this specific strategy, it would be one trade at a time. So let's see what the win rate of that one trade at a time is. I mean, it did go down a little bit, the win rate. So it looks like the one that's multiple trades at a time does perform slightly better. But to each their own. The way I coded this, you can customize it as you wish. Next, so the actual risk per trade, I do have it at an equity percentage, but you can do a dollar amount. So this would be perfect for prop firms. Let's say you only want to lose a 500 per trade. If you lose 500 per trade, this will automatically adjust the contract size. That would be $500. So if I were to run it with just $500 versus, see, so it does perform very well. That means in that time frame, from January to July, you'll make 10K, which is about $1,600 a month, give or take. So this performs fairly well. With a 50% win rate, with a 1.5, that's actually pretty good. Profit factor of 0.54. That is really good. Again, you can play around it to see how you would want to approach it, but it is pretty good. You can do the same thing with contract size. Like say you only want to take one contract. If you take one contract alone, let's see what that would provide or give. That's also not that bad. Like it is a good strategy overall. I think depending how you want to approach it, you can kind of play around with it. But let's go back to the original one. So this is the normal one at the moment. And of course you can change the amount that you want, the equity percentage. You can actually change the contract size. And here right now, it has the actual capital. But if you open your own prop firm, account, just put the firm balance here. Of course, you can have multiple accounts running all at the same time, but for one account at a time, just put your account balance there and then you're good to go. Next is the stop loss. So this stop loss here, I put it really 3 different ways. It's either the regular EMA, right, which is, as you can see, that's what it's here at the moment. The regular EMA where the stop loss will always be at the level of the EMA. You can also put a buffer, meaning let's say you want it to be slightly closer, like not so far, because EMA can be far sometimes depending on how you look at it. Like EMAs can be really far, like this. Look how far this one is, right? Let's say you don't want it that far. Let's say you want like a little closer. You can give yourself a little buffer. If you want a negative, you put a negative in front. You go positive. The way it is right now, it would actually push it past it a little bit. Again, it depends how you want to use the stop loss. You can also put a flat tick or flat point amount, which is here. You can do flat ticks. It can be 100 ticks above or below, depending on how you want to do it. Same thing with points. It can be 50 points above or below. You play around with it. You play how you would, however you would want to optimize it. You can easily optimize it just going with the back testing and kind of using one of these. And this will help you optimize it very greatly. And like I said, right now I do have the commission on. Depending on the broker you use, you may not even have commission on it. I put it there just because it gives a more realistic amount if you were to take off the commission altogether. As you can see, it does perform even better. Better profit factor, better win rate. So it is better overall. But again, it depends on how you want to approach it. And like I said, if you want more details on it, you can look at Monday's video, where Monday's video is me taking 100 trades live. You can kind of see the win rate, how it is manually. But it is only 100 trades. This is 150 trades. If I wanted to, I can easily do, let's say, a whole year worth. No, let's do a whole year work and go like this. What would the year value be? Let's see. Okay. It did go down, but the thing about these kind of strategies, they are trend following, right? So if the regime is really bad or is consolidating mostly, it won't perform as well. As you will see here, ooh, it really died from 2025 to 2026 here, and then just started killing it from there. So, it is a trend strategy. You can have consolidation ones or reversal ones, but this one specifically is trend. But that is everything that I have here. Like I said, I will be selling these 2 strategies on my Etsy store. If you have any questions, please say them in the comments below. I will answer as many as I can. If you're interested in any strategy being built for you, reach out to me on Fiverr and I'll be happy to help you on that. And yeah, thank you again for joining me, and I'll speak to you next Monday.